if you look at the squad, you can see loads of little things they could do. They may think to themselves, actually, let's go and get another really good number 8 who has the ability to also play as a 10, like Naby Keita has. Another attacking 8. Or for me though, the big, I think Liverpool would absolutely miss an opportunity if they do not elevate that goalkeeping position this summer. I think when you look at the squad, for me, that is the big thing, because it's been left so long without a proper injection of quality. And when Liverpool brought in Loris Karius, it was the first time in, about 4 years or something that they looked to actually challenge Simon Mignolet and not just bring in a deputy. Yeah. And, I mean, we saw that the impact it did make Mignolet better, the fact that he had somebody to compete with. I think Karius, from that broken hand in pre-season, I mean, when you watched him before him breaking his hand, before that, he looked like the goalkeeper Liverpool had thought he was, everything about him. And the broken hand, I think getting that and then having to then displace Mignolet, coming in, having that tough period. I think he's still recovering from all that. Jurgen Klopp admitted he threw him in too soon. And then obviously you've got the Champions League final where, concussion, mistakes, and knowing the fan base, he's not going to have a lot of trust with a lot of the fan base. And he's still a young lad. And I'm trying to see how he gets to the point where he is a unanimous number 1 that everyone says to themselves, you know what, this,
The problem is there's not enough track record there for anyone at Liverpool ever truly winning a fan base back over again. You either win them over gradually, you win them over immediately, but if you've ever damaged your reputation, it is very, very difficult. You could argue Lucas Leiva, but there still wasn't, always will be a staunch camp of people who never liked Lucas and never wanted to see the positives in what
and
he
the
did.
thing is with an outfield player, I'll go back, and Roberto Firmino, when I used to say what a player he was in the first few, people used to ridicule me on Twitter, but you could see it, but you knew he wasn't being used properly, or maybe he wasn't understood what he was offering.
The problem is there's a difference in the forwards between not quite hitting your peak and being solely responsible for things going. Alberto Moreno being a good example of that, of course.
And the outfield players, and especially the attacking players, have the opportunity to win you over all the time. And they have. So you've got Roberto Firmino working with Sadio Mane and Mohamed Salah. That is, everything's geared there for you to be absolutely brilliant. I think for a goalkeeper, you're often the outsider. It tends to come down, just on you and the decision you've made. So I think that's why it's always harder.
Well, it's a position where, so you come out and you just do your standard work. You're sweeping up, you're making saves. People go, well, you're just doing your job. Whereas no one says that when you're sticking the ball in the back of the net, because you're too busy jumping up and down celebrating. You very rarely celebrate moments that goalkeepers do, occasionally with a gasp or a clap of your hands, but you don't go bananas when a goalkeeper makes an amazing save.
And I think for every good save a goalkeeper makes, people will, immediately want to point out, well, he did that wrong, that wrong, that. I think it's a very difficult position to...
Do you think he can come back? Do you think he can come back from that? He's not lacking in self-confidence as a person, but that does look a pretty formidable obstacle to get back over.
I genuinely hope so, because he is young. He had a very good reputation in Germany, and when you speak to sporting directors in Germany and goalkeeping coaches and stuff there, they always say the Karius they know and the Karius they've seen largely is not the same person. So I think he's got everything there. He's got a lot of instinct, and one thing I was told once is that you have goalkeepers who you can teach them things, as in you can drill things into them, and that's why they're a goalkeeper, because they can follow orders and just do what they're told. But in terms of a modern goalkeeper, the skill set, I was told he's got it, but it's now just doing everything else that accompanies it. And that's a huge, like you say, it's because of the stage, Champions League final, because of, it's not just one mistake, it's two. Okay, and then we have to add the caveat that, it is, he was concussed. But I just think it's so difficult. And I think the problem is, even before that, there had been doubts. And, if you go back, Liverpool ice talks in February with Alisson. And that was because of the fee they were being quoted, £62 million then and rising. So Liverpool have known, and it's been for a long, long time.
Yeah. Liverpool
have needed, an elite goalkeeper. And if Simon Mignolet is set to go, which...
You'd imagine he'd have to.
Yeah, you've not got the sense that the opposite at all is going to happen. So if he wants to move on to be the first choice, because I don't think either of them have done enough to be first choice. What I will say is that Karius, Simon Mignolet's had 201 appearances or something like that to prove himself. Karius hasn't, but I think there's so many question marks and stuff with Karius that, and this summer when you look at the goalkeepers that could potentially move on, are available.
Is this the similar situation to what we had with Virgil van Dijk, in so much as there's a lot of goalkeepers out there who can't clearly definably comfortably better than the goalkeepers Liverpool have, and in order to do that you're going to have to go and spend mega money. But Liverpool, in doing, it's probably one of those situations where they are just going to have to bite the bullet and say, well, look, yes, Jack Butland is available, and yes, Jack Butland might prove to be an excellent goalkeeper, but you bring him in today, the only advantage he has is that he doesn't carry the weight of the Champions League final defeat amongst the Liverpool fan base. That's the advantage he has over Karius.
Yeah, Liverpool, no playing small when it comes to the goalkeepers. No average, no okay. They shouldn't do that. In my opinion, I'd be incredibly disappointed with Liverpool operating on a position of strength, considering they've built a phenomenal attack. You can see that midfield that they're building is exceptional. They've got one of the best defenders in the world. One very young fullback who is going to go on and be absolutely incredible. You've got Andy Robertson on the other flank, who's had an incredible debut season. You always come back when you talk about Liverpool, when you think about what's missing for a possible title challenge or to win the really big prizes, and you look at it and you think it's probably goalkeeper, or not even probably. I think we've been saying that for years.
You can count on two fingers the amount of good goalkeepers Liverpool have had in the last 30 years.
Yeah, and listen, I don't want to be unfair, because I like Carey. I like his attributes. I don't think he's shown it often enough. Again, I'll say I don't think he's had, the level of games or the amount of games that a goalkeeper needs to show what they can really do. Also, we had, chopping and changing of the centre-backs. I think since we had a settled defence, he was much better. He was good during the Champions League run. Again, though, you look at that final, and I think it's going to be very, very difficult for him. But still, even the fact that you can wish the best for him and want the best for him, if you're looking at it and you're thinking, which department can Liverpool drastically improve on? I think it's the goalkeeper. And you speak about the money Liverpool paid for Virgil van Dijk. No one brings up that fee as a rope to put around Liverpool's neck, because he is worth it. He's worth. If Liverpool spent £175 million on him, he'd still be worth it. And speak to people, speak to players, speak to the feeling he gives them in the dressing room. We've all seen the difference he's made. And if you do that for a goalkeeper, if you have a goalkeeper who for the next 5-10 years is going to be absolutely incredible for you, I don't think you can actually put a figure on that. That's pretty priceless. So if a goalkeeper chooses a different club, if a goalkeeper chooses Real Madrid, PSG, fair enough.
Yeah.
But if you don't do it because of money, if money is the only reason you don't do it, massive wasted opportunity, in my opinion.